The stars above Erythra Prime shimmered like shards of glass. From orbit the planet looked serene. But for Kairo, it was anything but peaceful. Born to the Luxari, an advanced alien species obsessed with beauty, Kairo had never fit their ideal. His skin was uneven, his limbs slightly twisted, and his face bore scars from birth. The elders called him a blemish, something unworthy of the Luxari lineage. By the age of 10, Kairo learned the truth without words. One cold evening, the elders gathered him in the grand chamber. He was summoned under the guise of a special ceremony, but there was no ceremony. They simply told him he was unwanted. His presence was a dishonor. Without a trial, without an explanation beyond beauty standards, Kairo was abandoned on the outskirts of the city, left to the wilderness of Erythra Prime. The jungle was alive with bioluminescent flora, strange chirps, and creatures that moved like liquid. Kairo stumbled through it, clutching the last memory of home. His chest burned with loneliness and anger. Days passed. Hunger gnawed at him until one night. He collapsed under a tree, too weak to rise. It was then that he heard the sound of footsteps, human footsteps. A voice called softly in broken Luxari tongue, mixed with another language Kairo didn't understand. A human emerged from the darkness, a rugged man with a worn jacket and kind eyes. His name was Eli. "You shouldn't be here," Eli said gently, kneeling beside him. "You'll freeze." Kairo looked at him suspiciously. The humans were rare in this sector, and even rarer among Luxari worlds. But hunger and cold left him no choice. Eli carried him to his small shelter, a ramshackle dwelling built of scrap metal and soft fabrics, hidden beneath towering alien trees. That night, for the first time, Kairo felt safe. Eli gave him food, tended his wounds, and spoke to him without judgment. "You're not ugly," Eli said quietly. "They just don't understand worth." Kairo had never heard such words. No Luxari had ever spoken to him like that. The weeks turned into months. Eli taught Kairo how to survive in the wild, how to hunt strange creatures, gather water, and hide from predators. But he also taught him things Kairo never learned in Luxari society: compassion, self-respect, and resilience. Eli often took Kairo to a cliff overlooking the twin moons of Erythra Prime. "Look," Eli would say, pointing at the glowing moons. "No one is perfect. Beauty isn't in symmetry or skin. It's in who you are and what you carry inside." Kairo began to believe him. The scars on his skin became symbols of survival, not shame. His twisted limbs became proof of endurance. But life in the wild was not without danger. One day, a Luxari patrol discovered them. The patrol commander recognized Kairo instantly. "He is ours," the commander demanded. "Return him or face consequences." Eli stood firm. "He's not yours. You abandoned him. He's mine now." The Luxari considered this quietly. Then with disdain they left, warning that Kairo's existence here would not go unnoticed. From that day on, Eli and Kairo lived with caution, knowing Luxari eyes might return. But Kairo was no longer afraid. He had something stronger now: purpose. Years passed. Kairo grew stronger, his body lean and hardened from life in the wild. Yet his spirit bloomed. Eli continued to guide him, teaching him languages, survival skills, and wisdom. Kairo learned to craft tools, read the stars, and even tell stories. One evening, Kairo returned to the cliff with Eli. The twin moons glistened above them. Kairo looked at Eli with quiet gratitude. "Why did you take me in?" Kairo asked. Eli smiled softly. "Because I saw what they couldn't. I saw your worth." Kairo understood then that worth was never about beauty, but about the courage to keep living, the strength to keep fighting, and the heart to keep caring. But peace was fragile. The Luxari returned, this time with force. They brought soldiers, weapons, and the intention to reclaim Kairo. They stormed Eli's shelter under the pale moons. Kairo fought alongside Eli, but they were outnumbered. Just when all seemed lost, Kairo did something unexpected. He stepped forward and addressed the Luxari. "You left me," he said, voice steady despite pain, "because of how I look. But look at me now. I survived. I became something you could not see. I have a life worth living. And I choose this life." The Luxari commander hesitated. For the first time, Kairo's words pierced their prejudice. He stood not as an outcast, but as proof of defiance. The commander gave a curt nod and ordered a retreat. The soldiers left. Kairo turned to Eli, who was badly wounded but smiling. "You've grown into something beautiful," Eli said softly, touching Kairo's shoulder. Kairo looked up at the twin moons, a tear rolling down his scarred cheek. "No," he said. "I am beautiful because you saw me. Because someone saw my worth." From that day, Kairo and Eli became inseparable. They lived in the wild together, building a life without fear. Kairo grew to become a leader among wanderers, an outcast who had found belonging, not by hiding his scars, but by embracing them. And above them, the twin moons shone brightly, reminders that beauty is not in perfection, but in the courage to be truly seen. The Luxari returned months later, but this time not as rulers. They came as witnesses. Rumors of Kairo's survival had spread, carried across galaxies, and curiosity had brought more than soldiers. The elders came themselves, their expressions unreadable. Kairo stood before them, Eli at his side, in the clearing where the twin moons hung low. He was no longer the scared outcast of 10 years ago. His scars told a story of survival. His eyes burned with quiet strength. "You left me to die," Kairo said, his voice steady, "because I didn't fit your idea of beauty. But I survived. Not despite it, but because of it." He glanced at Eli. "This man taught me my worth." The Luxari commander looked away. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then one elder stepped forward, bowing slightly. "We were wrong," she admitted. "Beauty is not skin-deep. You have taught us that." Kairo felt a surge of something strange. Pride, relief, vindication. But more than that, he felt peace. Eli wrapped an arm around him. "You found your place," Eli said softly. "And your worth." Kairo smiled faintly, looking up at the twin moons. "Worth isn't given by others," he said. "It's found when you stop hiding who you are." The Luxari left quietly, and Kairo and Eli remained in the clearing. No words were needed. Kairo knew he had been given something more valuable than acceptance. He had been given a home, a purpose, and someone who truly saw him. Under the glow of the twin moons, Kairo's scars shimmered softly in the light. They were no longer marks of shame, but badges of a journey from abandonment to belonging. And in that moment, he knew he was finally whole.